Okay, this might be crazy, but I'm going to argue in this video that mom frustration, mom anger, the thing we all feel as mothers, or the things we all feel as mothers, are actually a gift. Okay, so bear with me. I know this is controversial. I feel a little crazy for even making this video. So if you're new to this channel, welcome and hello to all these moms. This is a channel where I am on a mission to bring more joy into motherhood, if for no one else than myself. And I do this by addressing the challenges and the issues that I faced in motherhood, but that a lot of people aren't comfortable discussing in public. So I just tackle the biggest issues that I face, which are things involving finances, relationships, that's romantic and others, like friendships, other family relationships, things like that, and self-care. If you're not new to this channel, thank you for coming back, and let's get into it. I made this video to kind of reframe the very common feeling mothers have in their lives, which is dealing with anger and frustration. I am personally coming off a really tough week. I've been taking out my anger and frustration onto my 3-year-old toddler and my husband. I hate even saying that. Multiple times, often in the same day, and I feel horrible about it. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. There are moms out there who deal with very serious and intense mom rage. This is not what I deal with. I just want to put that out there. Mom rage is serious and concerning, and hopefully if this is what you are experiencing, you do what you need to do to get help or take a break or do whatever you need to kind of calm that down. This video is just from my perspective, and for me, mom anger looks more like me snapping at my child when I'm frustrated, or snapping at my husband, getting short, being brash, or even getting really quiet and kind of like retreating into myself where I barely even want to engage with either of them. Retreating into this quiet discomfort just to kind of hold on to my sanity and grasp on to whatever thread of patience I have left. That is my mom anger and my mom frustration. That's what I'm dealing with. This all stems from trying to meet the constant, ever-changing needs of this little toddler and other people, and having little to no time for myself. I get like a sliver of my own day. I get up at 5 in the morning just to have at least an hour by myself, and then I get a little bit at night, which I try to spend with my husband. Just like dealing with these like constant, ever-changing demands of a toddler, of this little human, while you're trying to stay emotionally stable so that they can like work out their own emotions and have a safe place to do that in, is incredibly exhausting. This past week, I just couldn't take it anymore. My daughter has this very intense like fixation on having everything a certain way. I've been told by her pediatrician and by a few other moms that this is normal for toddlers, but whoa, I was not expecting it. It is so intense and it drives me crazy. And in addition to her having these fixations, she also has a very intense focus on micromanaging me. It's not like this with my husband as much. It is a little bit, but mostly it's on me. She's trying to control me. She wants me to do what she wants her to do, what she wants me to do, what she wants me to do. And if I don't do it, she like doubles down on the effort. It's crazy because she'll be perfectly chill 1 minute, super easygoing, and then like a light switch went off, it's Panic at the Disco. I feel the need to say this. Like, I love my daughter more than my own life, and I would do anything for her. And I guess for a lot of moms, that goes without saying. And I have to constantly remind myself to take care of my own needs. But these preferences and these demands that she is making on me are driving me insane. And they start from the minute that she wakes up. Here's an example. So I'll go in to her room to wake her up, and I'm like, or when she gets up in the morning, I'll go into her room. Hi, honey. Good morning. Did you have a good sleep last night? And sometimes she's very sweet and she just wants to snuggle and is all lovey-dovey. And then sometimes the micromanaging and the demands start right away. Mama, you turned that light on. I want you to turn that light on first. Mama, I want to open the curtains. I want to open this curtain and that curtain. Mama, I want to open the blinds. I want to do this blind. And it's like, I'll close the blinds and then she'll reopen them and then she'll want to do them again. And so that'll continue into the kitchen as we're going to make breakfast. Mama, I want the blue fork, not the green fork. Mama, I want the white plate, not the blue plate. It's insane. And then it gets down to like how I opened or closed the cabinets or which chair to sit in, and it goes on and on and on. And then there's my husband, who's an incredibly sweet and loving man who can't win for losing with me sometimes. We navigate this like taller roller coaster together as equally as any couple can. And while at my core, I'm extremely grateful for him, it's too easy for me to take out my frustrations on him because basically out of proximity, he's here, we're in it together. Now, granted, our relationship isn't perfect. We experience a lot of the same issues if that most couples experience once they're married, they live together, and they have kids together. And trying to keep our relationship strong outside of our family dynamic is no joke. Like making a date to spend some time alone together, managing work, life logistics, managing our house, making time for ourselves, novel idea, and other relationships. Nothing I have ever experienced has compared to how hard but rewarding having a family is. See, I just get angry at the constant draw of my time and attention. Constantly, it never ends. And then I feel frustrated, and then I feel guilty for letting it get to me, and then taking it out on my family. So a few nights ago, I was coming off a really, really hard week. Coming off a really hard week. I was exhausted from work. My husband and I were struggling to connect, and I had no patience for my daughter. None. This particular night, we were making another attempt at sleep training, and my daughter was struggling very, very hard to go to sleep. My husband and I kept going back and forth on what we were going to do. We were checking on my daughter regularly, but struggling on whether to pick her up or not. Okay, now I know this is I know this is a very controversial subject, sleep training. A lot of people perceive it as just drop your kid off in their crib, leave them for the night, and peace out until I see you in the morning, leaving them to basically cry themselves to sleep. That's not what we're doing. I'm already emotionally traumatized with our gentle form of sleep training, so doing that would push me over the edge. It would push my daughter over the edge too, I'm sure, but that's not what we do. What we're trying to do is a gentle form of sleep training where we help our daughter build independent sleeping skills while also not giving her separation anxiety. But it's so hard. Sleeping is so hard when you have a toddler, and every night is different. Some days she goes right to sleep on her own without a problem, lays in the crib, talks to herself, makes cute noises, rolls around, plays with her stuffed animals, rearranges her crib, and goes to sleep within a few minutes. Other nights, I need therapy afterwards for the emotional trauma that I've experienced from the crying. Sometimes it's like an hour of crying, and we'll go in and check on her, which of course makes it worse. We don't want to always pick her up or hold her because that's exactly what she wants, and she doesn't always go to sleep when we do that. Sometimes she laughs and giggles and wants to play, in which case you want to put her back in the crib or keep her up a little later. These little kids, they can't talk to you about like what they need. So you're just making guesses the whole time, often feeling like you're making the wrong one. And it just feels like an impossible situation most of the time. So we're here just doing our best. We're attempting a form of sleep training just to give ourselves some peace and hopefully get my daughter some independent sleeping skills at the same time. As parents though, in either scenario with my daughter, whether she goes to sleep right away or not, we are always exhausted by this time of day, okay? By the time it's time for bedtime, after an exhaustive time trying to get her to eat, getting her into bath time, which she loves to do, so bath usually lasts at least in half an hour, then getting on the toilet, blah, blah, blah. All of this, by the time we're doing bedtime, we are exhausted in the best case scenario. And then when nights are hard, it is amplified by how tired you are, which on this particular night, I was exhausted. So on this particular night, my husband and I were really struggling. We were struggling to like come up with a goal or a strategy together to help my daughter get to sleep. And at the end of it, by the time we finally got her to sleep, I was so exhausted and frustrated and angry. I was angry at the night, I was angry at the day, I was angry at him. And then I just laid in bed awake for hours. And that's when the dark thoughts start. I don't want to sleep next to my husband. I'm not going to sleep at all tonight. Is my daughter going to be scared or standoffish of me in the morning when I get her out of bed? And then I think that I'm a terrible mother and that I should know better about how to help her. Guess what? Those were just my thoughts. Eventually, I did fall asleep, and it was next to my husband. My daughter woke up thrilled and excited to see me and greeted me with the biggest, warmest hug. And it was just so comforting to know that all of the good mothering that I have done isn't just wiped clean or lost because of one or a couple of bad days. So with some much needed alone time and some hours of reflection, I was able to like get up the next day and be with my family and bring a more positive version of myself. It was so crazy though, because for them, it was like the night before had never even happened. What I learned while laying in bed, staring at the ceiling for many hours the other night, feeling angry and frustrated with my child and my husband could actually be a good thing. That means you are likely spending a significant amount of time with them, enough time to build up these frustrating moments, lovely moments as well, but frustrating moments too. You're spending enough time with them to build up a lot of these moments. And that time is precious. And also that you're setting boundaries and you're not giving in to your child's every whim. And also that it's just normal. It's normal to experience the full spectrum of emotions in motherhood. Every single person I talk to who has had children or who has older children, they always say the same thing about the experience. That one, it's very hard having a toddler, especially at like this stage in parenting, that it's extremely hard, that time goes by way too fast, and that they always wish they had spent a little bit more time with them or were more present with them. Raising a toddler has been extremely difficult for me, but it has also been amazingly wonderful, full of wonder, full of joy, full of adventure, full of play, full of many, many wonderful things, but hard as well. Can feelings of frustration and anger in motherhood be good? I argue yes. When they are harnessed and managed in a way where you are not taking out these feelings on your child or your husband or the people close to you, which is going to happen, but when you can manage them and harness them to put them in context, to realize like what the real issue is, it can be an alert, it can be an alarm to something that you need to be doing differently. Usually when I feel angry and frustrated, I need to take a break or I need help. Those are basically like the two big things that when I'm angry or frustrated, those are like the things that I need to do. I now am going to try to look at these feelings as a positive thing and do what I need to do to get out of that state, and so that I can enjoy my time with my wild and crazy toddler. On that, I'm going to leave this video with a request for you to leave your thoughts and experiences about how you manage your frustration and anger with your family. Every single mother has this story tenfold every single day. So if you feel like it, I would love to hear that story and how you manage those feelings. Also, if you liked this video and you are interested in similar type of content, please like this video and subscribe. That's the best way to support this channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.